Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the AFI Silver Theater in downtown Silver Spring, Maryland. Tonight we present an evening of entertainment and information as the Montgomery County Public Schools Educational Foundation presents Are You Up to the 5th Grade Challenge? And now our Master of Ceremonies for this evening. He is the Senior Director of Global Learning Initiatives for Discovery Education, the global leader in standards-based digital content and professional development for K-12. An Emmy-nominated producer of some of the first educational technology series, he also produced ITV programs including Parenting, Live Global Music, and Theater on the Air. He has worked with thousands of students through guidance of the nation's oldest student media festival in California. Please welcome Paul Davidson.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And welcome, welcome, welcome to all you up to the 5th grade challenge. Tonight, members of the business community, with some assist from these outstanding MCPS students, will be answering questions from the 5th grade MCPS curriculum. Now, they'll be doing this together to win money for some deserving schools. That money can be up to $12,000. That's supplied by the Montgomery County Public School Educational Foundation. Let's give them a hand. But before we get started, let's thank these great student musicians over here. They are the Silver Spring International Middle School Jaguar Jazz Ensemble under the direction of Mr. Timothy Dawson. Let's give them a hand. We'll be hearing from them all through the evening. So this is the Are You Up to the 5th Grade Challenge, and here's how the game works. A contestant will come here, they'll sit right here, and they will choose randomly from an envelope of questions that pertain to the 5th grade curriculum. The questions will be increasingly difficult as we go along, but as the questions get more difficult, the money will get bigger. So they can get some help. They're not alone. They get help from these outstanding students who will be working in teams of 3. Now, they'll be working, discussing the questions that you'll see on the board, and they will be using these active vision devices, active expression devices, to send those answers to the screen. That's the same technology that you see every day in MCPS classrooms. You guys ready for this? Yeah, now these are not just randomly chosen students. These students actually applied in writing to be part of this very special class. Is that right? Yeah, kind of hard too, huh? Then after they submitted their request in writing, they were chosen by their schools to be here. Now, of course, every class, we're missing something. We're missing a teacher. Every class needs a teacher, and we have one. We have a great one, an excellent representative from Montgomery County Public Schools to come in and be the teacher of this class. His name is Brian Fries. Mr. Fries was the Montgomery County Teacher of the Year in 2012, and that's a very high distinction. He was also winner of the 2011 Marion Greenblatt Award and was a finalist for Maryland Teacher of the Year. And that's one of the hardest accolades to achieve in the United States. All of this while he was a teacher at Highland Elementary School. He is now a member of the district's consulting teachers team. Please welcome our teacher, Mr. Brian Fries.
Good evening.
Now you get music. There you go.
All right.
It's a great resume. I mean, congratulations on everything.
Thank you very much.
So let me ask you something, because a lot of people don't know when curriculum changes, but it has a big impact. One of the biggest impacts was this implementation of Curriculum 2.0, which happened at MCPS. What's the difference, and what does it benefit? How does it benefit these students?
Well, I think what we have seen is this group of 5th graders now, they have had Curriculum 2.0 since kindergarten. And what it has done for them, it has helped them to develop their creative and critical thinking skills, as well as their academic success skills. We know, as teachers, that students with successful academic careers, they don't just thrive on learning facts to be successful in life. What Curriculum 2.0 has done is built a foundation for lifelong learners. And we know that tonight, this group of 5th graders is going to be able to help whatever question is thrown at whatever contestant comes up tonight.
Well, some of these are pretty hard, so...
Not for these boys and girls, right?
Well, why don't we meet them individually then? Would you introduce your class to everybody?
Tell me your name, your school, and who your teacher is.
My name is Felipe. My school is Bannockburn Elementary School, and my teacher is Miss Bardini.
Welcome, Felipe.
Hi, my name is Kika Chuku, or Kika. My school is Trevor Noah Elementary School. My teacher is Mrs. Dolan, Mrs. Rao, and Mrs. Sheffy.
Wow, teachers.
My name is Jake. I go to Braintree Elementary School, and my teacher is Mr. Byrne and Ms. Shapiro.
Welcome, Jacob.
My name is Alexandra, or Allie, and I'm from Washington Grove Elementary School, and my teacher is Mr. Socias.
Alexandra.
My name is Devin, and I'm from Westover Elementary School, and my teacher is Mr. Holadik.
Welcome, Devin.
I'm Gabby. I'm from Wingate Elementary School, and my teacher is Miss Calabretta.
Hi, Gabby. Still too bright.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who do we got over on this side?
My name is Suresh. My school is Fox Chapel Elementary School. My teacher is Miss Waters.
Welcome, Suresh.
I'm Elena. I go to Brook Grove Elementary School, and my teacher is Miss Rayleigh.
I'm William, and my school is Krista McAuliffe Elementary School, and my teacher is Miss Snipes.
William. Let's come on to the back in our last row here.
My name is Zach. I'm from Beverly Farms, and my teacher is Miss Cashmere.
Hi, Zach.
My name is Crystal. I go to Harmony Hills Elementary School, and my teacher is Miss Irandi.
Hi, Crystal.
My name is Max. I go to Clarksburg Elementary School. My teacher is Miss Oscar.
My name's Anna. I go to Fairland Elementary School, and my teacher is Miss Hester.
All right, boys and girls, are you ready for the 5th grade challenge tonight? Yeah. You're not nervous, are you? You seem a little bit nervous when I was introducing you. You're not nervous, are you? No. Okay, I think they're ready.
Thank you, and congratulations for being picked. Let's give a hand to everybody. It was hard to get to this stage. All right, now all of you are going to be helping people, people from the business community, and it just so happens that all of these people that you will be helping are from commercial real estate. We have a banker, a contractor, and our first contestant is an architect. Not only is she an architect, but Robin Z. Puddock is also a partner in Luckmeyer Partnerships, an architectural firm in Arlington, Virginia, where is she involved in everything from business development to client relations to budget, and of course, architectural design. She was the project architect and manager for 2 schools you may have seen here at MCPS, Brown Station Elementary School in Gaithersburg and Francis Scott Key Middle School in Silver Spring. And her design for Francis Scott Key Middle School won the Department of Education's Green Ribbon Award. She was magna cum laude at Virginia Tech's College of Architecture. She and her husband and 2 school-age daughters live in Arlington, but we're very happy that you can be here tonight. Please welcome Mrs. Robin Puddock. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So I'm glad you could come.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Well, it's very nice. So let me ask you something that I sort of wanted to know. What's it like to work from the ground up, the grass to the ceiling at a school that then became a Green Ribbon Award-winning school?
Oh, it's an amazing experience. I would say probably the most exciting thing is going to work every day, learning something new, learning from MCPS Division of Construction, learning from the school administrators and staff, and most of all, learning from the kids at the school.
So you designed a building, but you also talked to kids, or you talked to faculty, you see what they needed and how it worked?
That's right, and these kids, they're pretty smart. They know a lot about sustainable design, sustainable architecture. It's one of the best groups of people that I designed for.
Oh, that's great. And do you think it's good that they're working in teams now
Yes.
for this? Was that the kind of thing that you did? You work with a team?
Definitely. I work with all of my engineers and the owner. It's got to be a team effort because these days there's just so much to know. No one person knows it all. You have to really work in a team.
So you love your job?
I love my job.
And how many years in school did you have to stay to get that job? How long did it take to prepare?
5 years of school, and then you have to work for 3 years. And then what I had to do is take 9 exams, each of which took a day. And
Wow.
then I could be an architect.
Did you have teams like this helping you?
I'm looking forward to the help tonight.
Well, good. Well, then have a seat because here's the most important question. Are you ready for the 5th grade challenge?
I am ready.
Okay, so let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is pick from the envelopes, which have a randomly assigned group of questions. Now, each group of questions in those envelopes have 2 hard, 2 harder, and 2 very hard questions. But remember, these kids are going to be working in teams of 3, and you will answer a question, and then they will also answer a question, and you can pick and choose which of the answers you think will really work. So you picked, I see, envelope number 2.
Yeah.
All right, let me go over and find envelope number 2. You think it was a good choice?
I hope so.
Yeah? Anna, do you think it was a good choice? Yeah. Okay, she says, yeah. So envelope number 2. Okay, so in this envelope, as I said, there are 6 questions. 2 are hard, 2 are harder, and 2 are the hardest of all. I'm going to ask a question, and it will appear on the screen. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so this curriculum is a question on art. It's a question on art. We'll give our students a chance to discuss it and lock in their answers. They'll have 30 seconds, and a chance for you also to think about your answers. So here's the question. What do artists call the imaginary line where the sky meets the ground? All right, so you're going to discuss it, put the answers in there. You have 30 seconds. Is it the horizon line? Is it the parallel line? Is it a vertical line? What do artists call that imaginary line? How many of you think you know?
You guys got it? Yeah. You ready to explain? You want to explain it?
All right, so Robin, which was your answer?
My answer is going to be horizontal, the horizon line.
Horizon line. Did I say horizontal line? It's the horizon line. Thank you for not letting me throw you off. It's the horizon line, which is, fortunately, also a horizontal line. Now, they've answered also. You see that they seem to have really chosen to agree with you on horizon line. Which answer are you going to stick with?
I'm going to stick with answer A.
Answer A, horizon line. Is that correct? Yes, say all the judges in the crowd.
Boys and girls.
Very good. That question was worth $100. Congratulations. The horizon line, not the horizontal line, Mr. Davidson. All right, let's move on to our second question, which is also worth $100. This is a social studies question. All right, you're going to see a picture up there. This is a pretty famous picture. It's an illustration by Paul Revere. And the question is this: what 1770 event by Paul Revere in this image sparked anger in the colonies when British troops supposedly fired into an alleged riot, killing 5 colonists? What is this event? Students, you have 30 seconds to lock in your answer. Is it A, Lexington and Concord? Is it B, the Battle of Bunker Hill? Is it C, the Boston Massacre?
Got it? What do you think it is?
I can see the horizon line.
It looks pretty horizontal.
Horizontal, yes, thank you. Thank you, Brian, for saving me on that one.
Got it.
30 seconds for $100.
You guys don't get $100 in your pockets.
You get an
They're all
education
excited.
worth
They're all excited.
thousands.
So it looks pretty overwhelming. Again, does anyone in class want to explain why they came up with C? Don't raise your hand at once. Because you taught it, because you paid attention in your classes, right? Yeah? Anyone want to explain anything they know about the Boston Massacre? Come on, Max, tell me something you know about the Boston Massacre.
Well, I know it came before the Boston Tea Party did.
Really good. It came before the Boston Tea Party. Anybody else?
Happened when a riot of colonists tried to attack British soldiers and they fired.
And so that's why the Boston Massacre occurred?
Yes.
And there was a massacre, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it looks like my class pretty much knows that it's C. So I don't know if you want to change your answer or...
I'm going to go with C.
Going with C. What's the correct answer? It is C, the Boston Massacre. Congratulations, that's worth another $100. It's also the beginning of debate in the media, the use of media. Paul Revere's graphic illustration was had 2 ways to look at it. All right, so let's go to question number 3. This is a little bit harder. This is worth $400. So this is a health education question. You see this on the screen. Foods in the dairy group, such as milk, yogurt, and cheese, are important sources of minerals to build and preserve bones and teeth. These minerals are A, calcium and phosphorus, B, calcium and chloride, C, iron and thiamine. Which is that? You have 30 seconds. How many think you know the answer to that one? All right, how many of you have bones? Okay. You're not allowed to look at your bones while answering this question.
Okay.
Now, Robin, what do you think? It looked easy at first, then
They're
suddenly
getting
got
harder.
hard.
They are getting harder.
This is just the $400 question. What do you think?
Oh, this side over here, they were done right away, though.
All right.
Ooh.
Time is almost up.
Uh-oh. Do you need some help?
All right, we have 2 questions there, 2 answers. I believe our time is just about up, yes? All right, so, Brian, for once we have a discrepancy. 2 people, there's different opinions here. What do you think?
So who wants to explain their answer? So what'd you guys have back here? What'd you have, Devin?
He said calcium and phosphorus.
Calcium and phosphorus. Is that something that you maybe learned when you were in science or health class?
No, but I just went with calcium because I know milk has calcium in it.
Okay.
And I don't know.
And chloride doesn't sound like probably something you want to put in your body, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless it's sodium chloride, of course.
Anyway, what about someone over here? No? This is a little bit of a hard question. So it looks like we have 3 of our groups picked B and 1 of our groups picked A.
Robin, what is your answer?
I was going to go with A because of the reason you were saying earlier. Chloride doesn't sound like something I want to put in my body, and phosphorus might be, so I would say A.
She's sticking with A, knowing that sodium chloride is salt.
Maybe I should change my answer.
She's sticking with A. A is the correct answer. Congratulations.
Thank you.
They used to grind up bones to make phosphorus. That's one of the ways they did matches. Okay, very good question. How many people thought that was a harder question than the first one? Okay, very good. This is another question worth $400. The category is, for Robin, you'll like this, math.
Okay.
Our students will have 30 seconds to get the answer to this. Here they are. See if you can get this one. It's a little bit harder. Tamara has eaten 1/2 of her candy bar. Julian has eaten 3/4 of his candy bar. You have eaten 5/8 of your candy bar. Tamara claims that if you put the leftover parts of the candy bars together, it would be more than a whole candy bar. Julian disagrees. Which of your friends is correct? Tamara, who says that it's more, the leftover pieces are more than a whole candy bar. Julian says, no, put them all together, they're still less.
I am seeing a variety of strategies being applied right now. I'm seeing pictures being drawn. I'm seeing numbers being used. So who was correct?
We have 30 seconds. I'm going to start my timer just to back things up.
So we got it. Good. Yeah.
10 seconds.
What'd you guys come up with?
All right, please lock in your answers. And let's see those answers on the screen. Remember, Tamara says that all this adds up to more than 1. Julian says no. All right, so Robin, what did you initially say?
I was going to say A, Tamara.
You think it's more than 1. Looks like everyone agrees. Brian, how did they figure that one out?
It looks like everyone in the class thinks it's A. I was just wondering how they didn't eat the whole candy bar to begin with. But does anyone want to explain how they knew that it was A? It was Tamara? Crystal.
I changed all the denominators to
to eighths, and then I added them up, and it was 15 eighths, and then I turned it into a mixed fraction, and it was 1 7/8.
So then you knew it was greater than 1. I mean, do you need any other explanation to stick with your answer besides that? It seemed pretty spot on to me. So you're going to stick with A? Yeah?
Sticking with A?
Stick with A.
All right, Robin?
Yes, sticking with A.
You're sticking with A, and the correct answer is A. Tamara is correct. There is more than one candy bar. Actually, you get...
And Crystal wrote that answer right there, I think. She must have written that answer right there with her explanation.
Did she? Very nice. All right, well, good. Well, are you ready for the next question? We are now at the hardest level of questions. All right, here we go. This is a question worth $1,000. It is a reading question. Take a look at this. What does the proverb, "The pen is mightier than the sword," mean? That's pen, P-E-N. The pen is mightier than the sword. All right? You're going to want to discuss this, and because it's a little bit harder, you have 45 seconds. You're going to have to explain. You're going to have to explain. Robin, you're going to get to pick which one you think is correct.
Okay.
What does the proverb, "The pen
Do you agree?
is mightier than the sword"?
You're going to have to type that. You have to type that one in.
Important spelling, because
Yeah.
it's P-I-N.
Yeah, this one we need to type in. You're typing this one in. Jacob's got it.
I forgot to reset my timer.
What did you say?
All right, 22 seconds. $15 seconds. Remember, you have to explain what it means when someone says the pen is mightier than the sword. 4, 3, 2, 1. Answers are locked in. All right, Brian, you want to see what some people have to say?
Well, let's see. Let's see over here. I saw you writing down your answer too, because you know you're ready to explain. So what did you think the answer was for this?
Being smart is better than being strong.
Okay, so being smart is better than being strong. Anyone else? What did you guys think back here? Gabby, what did you think?
Well,
Explain your answer that you guys discussed. You guys had a great conversation back here.
You use it for bad, to do bad things and like kill people, but then you use the pen to write good stuff.
So a pen can be used to write something good, and a sword's not going to do anything good.
Well, you may like cut a paper or something. If you're like,
But you're going to use scissors. Hopefully your teachers aren't giving you swords. Right?
Use swords. If they don't have scissors and they run out of scissors, they're going to use swords.
So Gabby, you're saying that you know that words are more powerful, right? Yeah. Anyone over here want to explain? This is a trickier one. Zach, what do you think?
Well, we wrote that words have more power than violence because a pen can, well, violence can only hurt them, but pen, you can write words, and the words might have more meaning to them than violence.
So then the words are more powerful, obviously, than a sword. And that sounds a lot like what Gabby was saying as well.
So, Robin, and let me add, Robin, which are you going to say? Which of the
I was going to say that the written word has more power than violence.
All right, how many of you agree with Robin on that? All right, because that is the correct answer. Congratulations, you just won $1,000. That was a hard one.
Good job.
All right, we are now going to the sixth and final question.
You guys all got it.
For this, students will not be participating, but you have the chance to double the money that you and they have earned together. You currently have, do you have a total? You currently have $2,000. If you get this answer correct, you'll win a total of $4,000. Thank you very much. And this question will be a science question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Up to the 5th grade challenge?
I am up to the 5th grade challenge.
Taken from the 5th grade MCPS curriculum in math, here's the question. Between which 2 points on the skateboard ramp would a skateboarder's kinetic energy be increasing? Now, I will tell you if it helps that the skateboarder's got his hat on backwards there. If it helps. When traveling between points A and B, when traveling between points B and C, or C, when traveling between points A and C. Which 2 points on the skateboard ramp would a skateboarder's kinetic energy be increasing? All right, you have 40 seconds for that. What do you think? You want to let them just...
Yeah, so what do you guys
think?
think?
They can't help.
We don't want to help. We're not going to help, but talk amongst yourselves. What do you think it's at? Even though I'm giving it away. What do you think?
Oh, this is actually from the science curriculum. Interesting. Sure, kinetic energy is science. Science. How many do you think you know the answers? Oh, not as many hands this time. Do they know what kinetic energy is, Brian?
I think they're right on point.
All right. Oh, I don't see the timer. All right, Robin, 10 seconds. Four, three, two, one. All right. To double your money, what do you think is the correct answer? A, B, or C?
And I have to do this all by myself with no help from the 5th grade.
That is correct.
Woo. I have a 4th grade daughter in the audience and a 6th grade daughter in the audience, and I think they're going to be disappointed that I don't know this right off the bat. I'm worried it's a trick question. So I was thinking kinetic versus potential. I am thinking A is the right answer.
How many of the students agree with that? How many out there agree with that? It is the correct answer. The answer is A. You want to see if somebody can explain kinetic energy?
Yeah, who'd like to explain kinetic energy? Anna, why don't you explain it to us?
Kinetic energy is when if you throw something up in the air or something, it's when it goes down.
Okay, so kind of like what that skateboarder is at point A, right?
Yeah.
Right. Anyone else want to add to that? Elena, do you want to add to that?
From point A, it pulls down the skateboarder. The gravity pulls down the skateboarder, so it gets more kinetic energy to go all the way down.
Awesome. Anybody else? How about someone over here? Yeah? Tell us how you knew it was right.
Because to get to A, you would need a very steep, like a roller coaster. You need to be steep so that you can go all the way to C.
Okay, and so then that has to do with kinetic and the potential energy.
Yeah.
To get to C. Great. Well, great job, boys and girls.
Thank you. How many of you are impressed with the 5th graders up here, knowing the answer to that question?
Good job.
How many are you impressed with Robin? Robin, you won $4,000 for your school. Thank you very much for playing.
Thank you for having me.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to the foundation or to the district or to the students or to Brian?
I would say thank you all for having me. It's been a pleasure. And Montgomery County's 5th graders are up to the challenge.
Thank you. Let's give her a hand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, so Brian, your 5th graders did do a great job.
They did an awesome job, actually. Thank you.
And Robin, we let you go now.
Thank you.
She's waiting for the cast, but the schools get the cast. The schools get the cast. Brian, which was the hardest question you think for your teams there?
They all seem fairly easy for them. These boys and girls seem like they're actually focused on learning, and I mean, they look like they all just enjoy learning and being in the classroom. I mean, they've hardly actually moved since they've been up here for the last 20 minutes, I think. So they're probably pretty focused when they're in school and in the classroom.
Well, that's pretty good. Let me ask you one other question, because this device that you can see here, this is kind of a complicated looking device. They didn't have any problems at all.
They seemed to knew exactly what they were doing. Your teachers are using Promethean boards in the classroom as well? Yeah, so you've all had an opportunity to interact with the technology. And how many of you are using Google Chromebooks as well? Great.
All right, so let me ask you one final question. Are these all the fifth graders that we have in Montgomery
These are
County Public
not
Schools?
all of the fifth graders that we have. I am fortunate enough to be able to teach more than one class tonight, and I know that I have another class that's getting ready to come up here soon.
Well, while they do, let's take a short break, listen to some great music, and let's
give a big round of applause first to their first class of the night. Stand up and take a bow.
Now stand up, stand up.
There you go.
Stand up. There you go.
Stand up.
Stand up. Stand up. Yes, come on. Thank you. That is a tough job. All right, we are back and ready for round two. Are you ready for round two? Yeah, so we'll see if we have somebody else that's up to the fifth grade challenge. First of all, you notice we've got even more fabulous fifth graders. Would you like to introduce those for us, Ms. Fries?
Yes, I would.
Mr.
Let's
Fries?
start back here. So please tell me your name, your school, and who your teacher is this year.
I'm Brooke. My school is Brook Grove Elementary, and my teacher is Mrs. Augello.
Did they name the school after you? No? Maybe one day.
My name is Jose Gutierrez, and I go to Gary Park Elementary School, and my teacher is Miss Rucker and Miss Gallagher.
Hello, Jose.
I'm Julia, and I go to Fox Chapel Elementary School, and my teacher is Mr. Wells.
Hi, Julia.
My name is Solomon, and I go to Washington Grove Elementary School, and my teacher is Miss Alger.
My name is Anaya, and I go to Harmony Hills Elementary School, and my teacher is Miss Pontius.
Okay, welcome, Anaya.
My name is Jonathan. I go to Spark Matsunaga Elementary, and my teacher is Mr. Moore.
How you doing, Jonathan? Are you nervous? No, not at all. I didn't think so. I could tell. Let's start over here.
Hi, my name is Drew, and I go to Cold Spring Elementary School. My teacher is Miss Saletti.
Drew?
My name is Catherine. I go to Westbrook Elementary, and my teacher is Miss Childs.
My name is Siraj, and I go to Fairland Elementary School, and my teacher is Mr. Blake.
I know Siraj is nervous. He said I could be the teacher of this class.
No. My name is Matthew. I go to Candlewood Elementary School, and my teacher is Miss Strong.
I'm Matthew.
My name is Mara, and I go to Joanne Lillick Elementary School at Broadacres, and my teachers are Miss Gillespie and Miss Lewis.
Hi, Mara.
My name is Pedro, and I go to Strawberry Knoll Elementary School, and my teachers are Mrs. Dolan, Mrs. Rao, and Mrs. Shaffey.
Hi, Pedro.
My name is Madeline. I go to Cedar Grove Elementary School, and my teacher is Mr. Odeman.
Hi, Madeline. Let's give a big round of applause for my second class.
Period two. We have somebody else that's going to come out, and maybe the students weren't nervous, but I think she might be. Remember, she's coming out to put her reputation on the line, competing with these fifth graders in information in the fifth grade curriculum that seemed to have gotten very hard in the last group. So let's welcome our second contestant, who is Miss Carissa Stanley. Miss Stanley is the first vice president of commercial real estate at Amalgamated Bank. She held a similar position at Eagle Bank and Fidelity and Trust, where she specialized in the development of commercial real estate and managed a commercial real estate portfolio worth over $100 million. It's a lot of money, isn't it? That's what she did. She's also director. She was director of the single family programs in Washington, D.C.'s Housing Finance Authority. She is also a certified instructor with the Greater Capital Area Association of Realtors. Ms. Stanley started her real estate career at BB&T, then earned a degree in business administration from the University of North Carolina, a fine place at Greensboro. Let's bring her out, and please welcome Ms. Carissa Stanley. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So thank you. Were you nervous back there as you heard the other questions that were?
And I got even more nervous when you said I was nervous.
Oh, there you go. How many people in the audience are nervous? See, there you go. You have some fellow. So let me ask you this. Of all the jobs you had, and you've had certainly a lot of different things, well, what's been the most satisfying for you?
I think just being in the real estate industry is satisfying. I mean, the built environment is so dynamic, and being able to finance different projects in the Washington, D.C. area is just fantastic.
That's good. So how long did it take you? I know you went back to school. How many years total? What was your path to get to this job that you really liked?
Sure. So I graduated from UNC Greensboro, and then
Yep.
I actually went through a management development program in Greensboro that was sponsored by BB&T Bank. And that was good fun, 6 months.
So did you have to go to an interview to get the, do all that stuff?
Absolutely. I was actually recruited out of college by BB&T, and so that's when I went through the 6-month management development program, which really taught us about cash flows and financial analysis and underwriting and things of that nature.
So you were selected, you had a good education, you were sort of a star. Did you ever have to still work with groups like these people do? I mean, is it good practice for them to work in groups of 3?
Absolutely. I think I would echo the first contestant in saying that teamwork is not only important in the school setting, it's important in the business setting. Although my colleagues, I'm not sure they're as smart as these guys.
Oh, that's right. Well, that's
but
good.
Absolutely.
Well, that's good because they're going to be helping you
That's right.
raise money. Remember, looking up to $12,000 tonight. So please have a seat.
Okay.
That's terrific. And I will go over here. Now, you've got 2 envelopes left. Remember, these both have questions, hard questions, harder questions, and the hardest questions, but they are different.
Okay.
So you can choose between 1 and 3. What do you think?
I'm going to take door number 3.
Door number 3, was that a good choice? What do you think, you guys? All right, prime numbers, we're happy. Let's walk over and see. I'll just get these and see exactly how. You said number 3, yes?
Number 3, yes.
Okay, I've got number 3 right here. Oh. Oh.
Oh, boy.
Is that locked in? It's locked in, Mike? Okay. Well, $100 million you've managed. This, I'm sure, will be no pressure at all. All right, are you ready? And remember, here's how we're going to do it. We're going to put the question up there. The students will answer their questions. I'm going to ask for your answer first.
Okay.
Then we're going to see their answers, and we'll see whether or not they agree. And
Okay.
you can change yours if you want. And if you do, you can win that money. And questions get harder, and the last question lets you double that money. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay, good. So, first question. You ready for this? Here are the questions. Number 1, which of the following diagrams represent a closed circuit in which the electrical current follows only one path? Question number 1. There you go. Which of the following, you can see that behind, you can see it on your screen there. Which of the following diagrams represents a closed circuit in which the electrical current follows only one path?
What do you think?
This is important when you're putting up Christmas tree lights.
Well, it's only,
All right, there's the timer.
Do you think it's A?
We're down to 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, you have a 50% chance. Are you ready to answer this?
I'm ready.
What did you say? Which of these 2 diagrams represent a closed circuit in which the electrical current can follow only one path? What did you say?
I'm going to go with A.
So Clarissa went with number A. Let's see, Carissa went with number A. Let's see what the students did.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
You feel better about your answer now?
I feel much better about my answer.
Okay, very good. All right, so you want to stick with that answer then?
I do.
So how do you students come to that conclusion?
Whose favorite subject in here is science? Do you want to explain why? Explain why you know A is right.
I know A is right because the electric current runs through by the top.
By the top, so that's what makes it single, right? Compared to the other one, you could see that it would go through. Is that what do you want to add on to that, Solomon? Okay. You're like, yeah. Obviously, because you guys talked about it, so you knew the answer.
All right, so you're happy with that answer? You agree with their logic, and you're sticking with A? Because A is, how many think A is the correct answer? You're absolutely correct. Congratulations. A, that's a series circuit, All right, so let's move on to the second question, which is also worth $100. This is a reading question. Here's the question. The announcer made a serious faux pas by using the wrong name when introducing the guest of honor. Which word is a synonym for the underlined phrase in that sentence? Which of these words is a synonym for faux pas?
Faux pas.
You have 30 seconds.
So what do you think?
There we go. 30 seconds. The announcer made a serious faux pas. How do you know the answer? You think you know the answer? How many of you ever committed a faux pas? Okay. Would mistaking horizon with horizontal be considered a faux pas? Those of you that know French might rely on that.
You guys have it right
French
away.
is a help. Spanish
Yeah.
is a help. We have 7 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Carissa, you first. What do you think faux pas means? What's a synonym?
A synonym is like synonymous with or another word for?
Yes, it means another word for it, yes.
So I'm going to go with blunder.
Blunder. First, was I right about synonym? Is that right, a word that means this?
You mean that doesn't go on toast?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
All right, so they said, Carissa said blunder. Let's see what the 5th graders of Montgomery County Public Schools said.
They all picked
Well,
C
they
as
all
well.
agree. I think you're in pretty good shape there. Sticking with number C, if I want to explain it.
I heard a couple of my groups weren't exactly sure of the answer, but I heard some really good reasoning and thinking about how they came about with C. Do you guys want to explain here how you knew that it was C, Madeline?
Sure. First, I thought of what would be an antonym, like not matching the word, and I thought pleasantly wouldn't match because it's it's happy and pleasantly is something like good.
Right.
So
So you got rid of that one.
yeah, and then we thought about it and we were kind of thinking. I was like, which one would probably go good, and we thought it was.
And so then you knew that that was probably a synonym. Good. Oh, synonym, not cinnamon. Sorry. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten dinner. Sorry.
Over there, any other explanations?
Anyone else want to explain
faux
over here?
pas?
Faux pas. Brooke, what did you think? What did your group talk about?
We talked about how pleasantry sounded like a compliment. Courtesy also sounded like a compliment. So we thought that blunder was the best answer because it sounded like a mistake.
So when you use that, you kind of use process of elimination. You figured out that those first two, they wouldn't work in the sentence, and blunder kind of sticks out from those first two, and that's how you guys come up with it. Great job. Good.
Let me ask you, Carissa, do you think faux pas sounds nicer than blunder?
I think it does. I think it does.
It says you committed
faux pas is more socially graceful.
Yes, you committed a faux pas.
That's right.
It's like, oh, it just sounds nice. How many of you like the word faux pas better than the word blunder? Let's hear it for the French. All right, so ready for the next question? You got that answer correct, so you've now up to $200. There's the correct answer, which is, in fact, blunder. Let's give them a hand. Question number 3, this is a little bit harder. That's why it's worth $400. We may have left your area of expertise with this one, Carissa.
All right.
What well-known United States document begins with the words, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another? What well-known document began with those words? What well-known document began with those words? It's a little bit harder, so you've got 45 seconds to answer this one. Well-known United States document.
So you have to type it in on here.
Don't let that question throw you off. It says United States document. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another. How many think you know the answer to that one? That's kind of a tough one. It is a great document. All right, we're down to 14 seconds. Everybody locked in? How many people locked in their answer? Teams? Global discussion still going on over here. You've got 10 seconds. Carissa, you already decided or you're still thinking? It's a tough one.
That's close. That's enough spelling wise. Good.
$400. Aren't you glad it's not the double your money question?
Thank goodness.
All right, I think we're ready to go. Carissa,
Yes.
what well-known United States document began with the words, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which connect them to another? What do you think?
So I was trying to eavesdrop on the kids, but I wasn't able to. I'm going to say the Declaration of Independence, but I don't think that's it.
Well, you'll have a chance to get some opinions here.
Okay.
Everybody else, what do you think? Let's see what the students said.
Okay.
Declaration of Independence, some people thought the Declaration of Independence and the Articles of Confederation, which came a little bit after. Do you want to discuss that a little bit and see what do you think?
Drew, I think I know what you're going to say here. Go ahead.
I was going to say our group would like to change our answer, but I think that's a bit too late now. We kind of drew a blank on this one, and first we looked at the Constitution, and we knew it started with "we the people," so it obviously couldn't be the Constitution.
Right.
So then my teammates kind of didn't really know what to put in. Neither did I, honestly. So we kind of went with the Articles of Confederation. I guess we kind of forgot about the Declaration. I don't really know how to explain it, honestly.
But you know that you would change your answer to the Declaration of Independence, or Independence. So it seems like that we have 4 groups that would say the Declaration of Independence.
Well, that's pretty good. Looks like you've got some agreement with you. What do you think? You want to stick with the Declaration of Independence, or do you want to go with the wild Articles of Confederation?
You know, maybe I'm triggering my 5th grade here. Maybe I wasn't that far off. I'm going to stick with the Declaration of Independence.
That is fantastic. That is the correct answer. Congratulations.
Good job, boys and girls.
You think anybody knows the author, that primary author of...
Who knows the author of the Declaration? Anyone here taking a field trip to Philadelphia this year? Not these 5th graders? 5th graders out there?
Oh, that's a great trip.
Yeah? Do you know who wrote the Declaration of Independence?
Tricky question. Just throw it out there.
Oh, I thought you were going to answer it. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? One of the writers of the Declaration of Independence, I should say.
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson was the primary writer.
Thank you very much. Give him a hand. Not even on the cards. There we go. Great piece of writing. Congratulations, for dissolving the bonds. So that was the first $400 question. Let's go to the second $400 question. And I tried to steer you away from pile number 3.
I trust these guys.
All right. Question number 4 from envelope number 3. Fourth question is also worth $400. This category is art. Students, you will have 30 seconds to lock in your answer. Artist Henri Rousseau is famous for his use of different shades of green. What primary colors did he use to make green? Carissa, what primary colors does a painter use to make green? We have 45 seconds. It is different than light. Combining light is different than combining pigments. So,
we got it.
What 2 primary colors do you put together when you want to make green?
Yeah.
I think that was a hard one.
This one?
Yeah, I always thought green was a primary color, but no. Not with pigment.
I'm a math teacher.
Pigment, you got to mix it up. Down to 18 seconds. And of course, there is the light spectrum, and there's the pigment spectrum. Paint's different than combining the light. Henri Rousseau, I love, this is one of my favorite painters. The jungle themes, the flowers, you see an animal in there now and then. Really like Rousseau.
So you were saying answers that weren't right?
Coincidentally, the same name as the philosopher that influenced Thomas Jefferson.
I'll let you explain.
All right, so 9 seconds. I think we've actually reached the end of the timer. Carissa.
Yes.
What is your answer?
So I've always thought that red and blue make green.
Yes. And is that your answer? Now remember, you don't have to stick with it yet. You have to stick with it. But I got to say, your expression wasn't that convincing.
That's what I thought, but I get to hear from the experts, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
All right, so let's see what the students had to say.
Oh.
Well, they're divided.
We got
we have a blue and yellow. We have a red and blue, which might have been combined to make that bar. We have yellow and blue at the very bottom. So looks like you got about twice as many going with blue and yellow, but hard to say. Well, let's hear what they're thinking.
Well, 3 of the groups have blue and yellow or yellow and blue, and 1 group has red and blue. I'm going to let them explain why they have red and blue. I think this timer is making them a little bit nervous. Catherine, why don't you explain to us what happened over here at this group?
Okay, so we were talking about all the colors that it wouldn't be, and so I typed in red, and then I submitted it while we were talking about it. And so we submitted the wrong answer. We thought it was yellow and blue.
And in all honesty, this is a perfectly good example of what Curriculum 2.0 has done for our students. Rather than go right to that fact of we instantly know that it's blue and yellow, they explore all possible ranges of options in an answer before they come up with the right answer. And they can justify why they don't think an answer is correct. So am I correct in saying that everyone in here thinks it's blue and yellow then? Is the group over there, yes, blue and yellow? You want to explain, Solomon?
Sure. Red and blue would make purple, I think. And yellow and red makes orange. So we use that, and then the only combination left was blue and yellow.
So then blue and yellow must make green. So you went through all the combinations as well, possibly, of all the primary colors, and you could come up and decide, and then you figured out that you know that yellow and blue make green. Sorry, I don't have crayons. Bad teacher.
Good thing we gave him 45 seconds on that one, Brian. Went through every possible combination. So, Carissa, the big question, though, are you sticking with your original answer of red and blue, along with this team, or are you changing to blue and yellow?
I am not going to go against these guys. They're too smart for me. I'm going to go with blue and yellow.
Blue and yellow. How many agree with blue and yellow?
That's a good
It is the
choice.
correct answer. Congratulations. That's a $400 question. Blue and yellow. All right. We are now, you thought those were hard? We are now at the 2 hardest questions.
All right.
First one is worth $1,000. It's a math question. Here's the question. 3/4 of the students on the track team do jumping events. Of the students who do jumping events, 2/3 of them do the long jump. What fraction of students on the whole track team do the long jump? There's a question. That's a 45-second question. Again, you see it up there. 3/4 of the students on the track team do jumping events. Of the students who do jumping events, 2/3 do the long jump. What fractions of students altogether on the track team do
Seeing
the
a whole
long
lot of strategies being used right now.
It's going to be a fraction.
I see
It's gonna be
pictures.
looking for an answer like 12 or 15. We're looking for what fraction?
I have no paper.
Now, banker, it's very hard. They're used to numbers like 100 million fractions.
I need scratch paper. I don't have any.
It seems like such a small number compared to 100 million.
Oh.
3/4 is one of the fractions. 2/3
You can
is
write the
another one of
words.
fractions.
Write the words.
One thing is for sure, we'll get a good explanation from our cracked 5th graders. All right, so. Oh yeah, you might want a piece
Only
of
to be
paper.
fair.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
you said you wanted scratch paper.
But she is a baker.
How many think you know the answer out there?
Would you
How many are really convinced you have the right answer? Okay.
just write the word.
Say what? We didn't have scratch paper. We're going to put another 20 seconds on the clock. 3/4 of the students do jumping events. 2/3 of those people that jump do long jump. Oh.
Yeah, why don't you all write it on
Looking
your
for a
card?
fraction answer. Although I guess it could be a decimal. All right, so our time is up. Student answers are in.
We just need a couple more seconds to
Oh, a
collaborate.
couple more seconds.
We
All
still
right,
have a little
couple
bit more collaboration going on here.
I'm sorry I jumped the timer there. I thought everybody was.
We're having a few technical difficulties.
That's okay.
So
Chris is going. Thank
you.
you.
Just want to
Thank
show
you.
it.
Thank you.
So you just
Anybody
wanna
know why they put
why don't you write
erasers
it
on
your
pencils?
note card? They're going to write it on their note cards here. Just hold up and show.
Okay.
We don't know how to write it.
Why don't you write it on? You're going to write it on your
You
notepads.
got yours? Oh. Good.
So how about this? Everyone write your answers on your notepads, and we'll give her a possible.
We have some holding up over here.
13 answers.
Chris is going to have to hold hers up soon. Again, when you sign up for this is what you're doing. You're going to be on a stage surrounded by very smart fifth graders, and you got to come up with a fractional answer. So let's see. We appreciate, Chris, we appreciate your being here. Do you have your answer?
Of course.
Okay. Good. You all agree? You all agree?
So, I'm coming up with 17/12ths, which is not a correct number because you have to take like 12.
More than the whole team.
Yeah, that's more
right.
than
More
one.
than the
Yeah,
whole
so
team.
I'm going to take everybody else's answer.
Okay.
All right, she's going to continue to do the mental math part.
Yes.
And let's see if you can get some help from the fifth graders. Let's see what their answers are. They're going to hold them up rather than do the board.
Yeah.
They're going to look around and see. Brian, you want to read
So
their
let's
answers?
see. So we have this entire group here has 1/2. This entire group back here has 1/2, which it looks like it's equivalent to 6/12ths. And this group over here, I heard them collaborating. They also came up with 1/2. And what about this group back here? Same thing. 6/12ths equals 1/2. Does anyone want to explain how they know for sure that it's 1/2 since all 13 of you came up with it? Julia, what about you?
Really like to hear an explanation.
So I looked for keywords in the word problem, and I saw of, and of means multiplication. So that means I know I have to multiply 2/3 by 3/4.
And you knew it couldn't be 17/12ths because there couldn't be more than one track team. So then you used multiplication.
So I multiplied it to get 6/12ths, and that's equivalent to 1/2.
And so then you turned it into an equivalent fraction 1/2. Does anyone over here want to add to the explanation? Catherine?
So we did 3 times 4, and that equals 12. And then we did 2 times 3, and that equals 6. So we got 6/12, and 6/12 is equivalent to 1/2.
So you use the algorithm of multiplying two fractions. You multiply the numerator by the numerator, the denominator by the denominator, and then you simplified it to 1/2. Yeah. Matthew, that's what you guys did? Yeah.
I didn't do that.
What did you do? You got the same answer though. That's what's the great thing about it. What did you do?
Well, I saw that 2/3 of 3/4 is 1/2.
So you just saw it. And you just knew it. 2/3 of 3/4 was 1/2. Again, you used multiplication. You were just able to do it mentally. Great work. So it looks like everyone in my class came up with 1/2.
I knew
Do you want to change your answer, or do you want to stick with there was more than one track team at the school?
I'm gonna go with these kids, especially the guy that saw it. I gotta adopt that.
So you're going for the $400 with 1/2.
I
yes?
am.
You know, let me just say, when you said 17/12ths, you were half right. And when you went to heck, because the denominator, and you went to this, you're right again. So congratulations. That is
Good
the correct
job.
answer, 1/2. How many of you got that out there? 1/2. That was a hard one. Congratulations. 1/2 of the students on the track team do the long jump. Very good. All right, so congratulations to everybody. It's good to have people around that know what you're doing.
There you go.
It's exactly what you said before. So we're now at the 6th and final question. You don't get the students on this one.
Okay.
This is the double your money question. Right now you have how much money? You have
All of it.
$2,000. So this question will either double that to $4,000, thank you, or drop it down to
2,000.
Yes. We'll drop it down to something we hope we don't have to hear. All right, so here's the question. 6th and final question. This is from the health education curriculum, all right? The 6 components of wellness include spiritual, emotional, intellectual. That's 3. What are the other 3? What are the other three components of the 6 components of wellness? First 3, spiritual, emotional, intellectual. What are the other 3? Is it social, educational, and physical health? Is it endurance, flexibility, and body composition? Is it social, physical, and environmental health? Which is it? Social, education, physical health? 45 seconds for this one. 45 seconds for this one.
I'm going to ask you.
This is a tough one, I think.
You don't answer.
Not a survey. This is in the curriculum.
You don't
5th
answer
grade.
this one. Because you can talk about it. Do you know the answer?
Health education curriculum.
Do you know the answer?
Answer A, B, or C. Social, educational, and physical. Social, physical, and environmental. Endurance, flexibility. Health question. That's 40 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Carissa, on your own. What do you think? This is kind of a tough one. It's a tough one. So we've got 6 components of wellness. 3 that you were given were spiritual, emotional, and intellectual. What do you think about the last 3? What do you think, Carissa?
So I think we definitely have agreement on social and physical. I've narrowed it down to either A or C, and I'm gonna go with C.
Crowd likes it. Crowd likes it. And you know, you talked about the building of things, right?
Yes.
And to do that, maybe that made you lean toward environmental health.
Yes, because
All
I
right.
think educational is similar to intellectual, so I'm thinking it's environmental that we don't have in A.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Brian, she can't change her answer, but do you think the
You're
students
locked
agree?
in.
Yeah, it's locked in.
So
What do you
who'd like to
think?
share what their response was? How many of you thought it was A?
But I thought it was C, but then they were like, no, environmental health as emotional health. So I said, okay, it's A.
Carissa, have you ever worked with a group like this before?
I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to borrow these 4, and then for the rest of the year, I can kind of just sit back and they just go in the classroom. It'd be great. Anyone else want to add to their explanation or say how they knew it was A, B, or C? How many of you thought it was B? C? And how many of you just weren't sure? What about out here? A, B, or C? C. C? Heard a lot of C's?
Well, you said C.
I did.
The crowd said C. Had some B's in the back. But the correct answer is C, social, physical, and environmental health. Environmental health becoming more and more important. So in fact, you have doubled your money. You've made a total of $4,000 that you've earned for a school. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for playing.
Thank you for having me.
So it was kind of tough.
It was 17/12.
Did you think your questions were harder than the first 2 questions?
I think it's always harder when you're in the hot seat.
Yeah, there you go. Anything else you'd like to share before we thank you?
I will tell you, Montgomery County 5th graders are definitely up to the challenge.
That's excellent. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
And thanks for earning $4,000 for a deserving school in Montgomery County Public Schools.
Before my 3rd class comes up, I'd first like to give not only a big round of applause for my 13 students, but also their teachers, who obviously are doing a phenomenal job every single day. Stand up and take a bow, please. Stand up, take a bow.
Excellent.
The true stars of the show. All right, thank you.
And they'll watch. I just bet they practice and rehearse and do all that kind of stuff. So we are back. This is your 3rd class, Mr. Freese.
My 3rd class.
Yeah.
And I asked them if they're nervous, and there is not one nervous student up here.
I think all the nervous adults are right back there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm probably standing the wrong way right now.
Yeah. So could you introduce us?
Let's see who I have in my third class of the night here. Why don't you tell me your name, the school you come from, and who your teacher is? Or teachers.
My name is Joseph. I come from William Woods, and my teacher is Mr. Quarku.
All right.
My name is Irene. I'm from Belmont Elementary School, and my teacher is Miss Dillon.
All right, Irene.
I'm Arian, and I'm from Cedar Grove Elementary, and my teacher is Mrs. Ramseth.
Okay, welcome, Irene.
I'm Brenda. I go to Harmony Hills Elementary School, and my teacher is Miss Beggs.
I'm Miles, and I come from Judith A. Resnick Elementary School. My teachers are Miss Fleming, Miss Murray, and Miss Smith.
3 teachers.
I'm
Nice.
Emma. I come from Greenwood Elementary School, and my teacher is Miss Ricucci.
Oh, hi, Emma. Let's come on back here.
My name is Carter. I go to Diamond Elementary, and my teacher is Miss Taher.
All right.
My name is Shiloh. I go to East Silver Spring Elementary School, and my teacher is Mr. Sarah.
Hi, Shiloh.
My name's Tom. I go to Potomac Elementary. My teacher's Miss Scholar.
Hi, Tom.
My name is Maureen. I go to Krista McAuliffe, and my teacher is Miss Snipes.
All right, our final 3 students.
My name is Puyon. I go to Captain James Daly Elementary School, and my teacher's name is Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Hey, Puyon.
Hi, my name is Sophia. I'm from Beverly Farms Elementary School, and my teacher is Mrs. Bardwell.
I'm Johannes. I come from East Silver Spring Elementary School, and my teacher is Miss Thompson.
Hey, Johannes. Final class of the night.
Fantastic. And remember, if you're just tuning in, these are the best of the best. Thank you very much for being here. You've been selected by your schools to represent your school and the whole Montgomery County public school system. Let's give a hand for these students, too, and all the other students we've seen before. We are missing one person, though, and that's our contestant, who these students have come here tonight to help. And I don't know if you were sitting back there, but I might be getting a little nervous, but let's meet who that person is. Our final contestant is in the construction field. His name is Mark Drury. Mr. Drury is Vice President of Business Development for Shapiro & Duncan. They are mechanical contractors. He draws on more than 38 years of experience, which he brings to this stage in construction management, and his oversight responsibilities include corporate development, material purchases, project coordination, and production of marketing and sales materials. He completed his undergraduate work in history at Shepherd University and graduate coursework at Princeton and Clemson. He is a graduate of Bethesda Chevy Chase High School and is the father of 3 daughters who graduated from John F. Kennedy High School. Please welcome Mr. Mark Drury. Thank you very much.
Good evening. How are you?
You know, you're the first person that doesn't get to choose an envelope, so it's already, they're all gone. We've got one waiting for you over there.
I figured that out.
That's very good. So, 38 years in construction, you've done a lot of stuff.
Done a lot of stuff, a wide variety of different projects, starting out in the general contracting realm and moving on to subcontracting. It's all about building. People don't understand that construction is the greatest team sport. It's not basketball, it's not baseball, it's construction.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. Because if somebody drops the ball, you're sort of
Exactly,
out of luck.
and we have more millionaires in construction than any other sport, absolutely.
Really? Okay, well that's good. How many?
And if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have anything. We all wouldn't be here sitting on these chairs because that has to be built in a factory.
And this
you wouldn't have the
building.
clothes, you wouldn't have the building, wouldn't have the lights.
Pretty good. So that's very impressive. Let me ask you this, though, and it's clearly important. What's the most fun part of it for you? You've been doing it 38 years. What's the part that just lights you up when you go, today I'm going to go do?
The part that lights me up the most is knowing that I work with a team of people that build monuments all over the Washington, D.C. area. And what I like to see is people grow, too, which is really important.
Oh, that's fantastic. You ever drive by a building that you help put together and just kind of smile?
This was my daughter's biggest source of embarrassment, was Saturdays riding with me in the car and saying, yep, I did that one, I did that one, with their friends. Dad, don't talk about it.
Well, let's hope that's a cap on embarrassment because you've got some hard questions coming up. So why don't you sit down?
Thanks.
We've got some scratch paper here for you. Let's give Mark Drury a hand for coming in today. Thank you. And as you can see, let's just torture him and show him the envelopes. The other envelopes have been chosen. You're left with envelope number. Go ahead and say it.
Well, let's give me envelope number 1.
Number 1. Let's pretend it's a choice. Okay, so envelope number 1 we have over here. Let's just see what. Oh. I guess they got harder numerically.
That's what I figured. They chose these
very
ones.
good. All right, so we're ready to go. You remember. See if you do remember. The first 2 questions are hard. The next 2 questions are harder. And the last 2 questions are hardest. That's right. Someone said scary. All right, are you ready for the first one? Class, are you ready? Yeah. All right, here we go. We'll give students a chance to discuss this. You're going to be able to help them here. Here is the question. It's a math question. We're starting with this one. What is the missing factor in this statement? 30 by 8 equals what by 60? What factor is missing there? You have 30 seconds. This is considered an easy question. You have 30 seconds. Mark, you have 30 seconds. You're going to get an answer. We're going to see your answer, and then we'll look at the student answers, and you can lock in your final question. So we're down to 18 seconds. What is the missing factor? How many of you know this one? Math always makes people nervous. I don't know why. It's such a wonderful thing. Mark, were you good at math in school?
Yes.
That's good. You need math all the time in your job still?
All the time.
All right. You ever check people's work?
All the time.
There you go. 10 seconds, 9. Okay, students, we want you to lock these in. Lock in your answers. We're going to see Mr. Drury's first.
Right there, that one right there.
All right.
We're all in.
We have them all in. Mark, what do you think the missing factor is in the statement 30 by 8 equals, 30 times 8 equals something times 60? What's the missing factor?
Well, I don't think anything, but I know it's 4.
4. He is convinced it's 4. All right, let's see if the students agree with you. They've been right all night. Let's see. Let's look at the student responses. Well, do you think they're right? I think you're agreeing, and you're not changing your answer, are you?
I'm not changing my
All right, the answer is 4. Let's see if he has won $100. Woo-hoo! The answer is yes. The answer is 4. Congratulations. Let's move on to the second question. Also worth $100. I guess you just sort of warm up questions. However, this is not a math question. It's not a construction question. It is a health education question. Here it is. The USDA's My Plate image, which you're going to see, is designed to help consumers make better food choices and build healthy meals. A basic rule of healthy eating is to eat a blank of food every day. What's the answer there? All right, you have 30 seconds. This is an easy one. That's what it says on the card.
What do you guys think it is?
What is it going to be? Mark, we're going to let you work on that too. Is it A, B, and C? A, B, or C?
Talk about what you think.
You want to eat a pound of food a day, a variety of food a day, or a mouthful of food?
What did y'all come up with?
15 seconds.
What did you come up with?
I've done all those things.
C, B, Friday. You agree? Yeah. C was obviously wrong. Yeah.
Mark Drury is powering through the 100 questions, $100 questions.
What we get? Huh?
All right, we are out of time. Everybody lock in your answer. First, we get to hear from the so far 100% Mark Drury. Mark, what do you think the answer is, A, B, or C?
I will say it's B, variety of foods.
You are certain?
I'm certain.
All right, let's see how certain the students are. Let's see theirs. Mark says it's a variety of food. Once again, everybody agrees. You're going to lock in your answer?
Yep.
And the answer is, in fact, B, eat a variety of food a day. So, well, okay. And why did you think it was variety, Mark?
Well, because I think a mouthful is certainly not enough, and a pound is probably not enough. It sounds like a lot, but it's 16 ounces, so that doesn't seem like a whole lot.
It doesn't give you balanced enough.
And what you want is a balance in your diet, a variety of different types of foods to give you the right vitamins and minerals you need to grow and survive.
Well, the experts in the booth agree with you. The answer is B, variety. Congratulations, you've won another $100 for a worthy school in Montgomery County. All right, this question's a little bit harder. It is a little bit harder. Not out of the realm of construction, though. Here it is. It's worth $400. This is a science question. Here it is. If all else stays the same, how does decreasing the mass of an object affect the force needed to move it? How does decreasing the mass of an object affect the force needed to move it? This is 30 seconds on this one. 30 seconds. Is it A, as the mass of an object decreases, the force needed, we'll get 45 seconds on this, excuse me. Force needed to move the object decreases. B, as the mass decreases, the force increases. C, as the mass decreases, the force needed remains the same.
Basically, you need more force since there's like
A few more seconds on this.
inside of the object, so the less amount of objects in
Mass of an object.
less amount of objects in the object.
I remember people used to say, gee, what's mass versus weight?
Yeah.
And your mass stays the same, but on Mars you weigh less. Isn't that interesting? The same mass weighs less because the gravity is different. So mass and weight, not exactly the same. Not exactly the same. What did you guys think? All right, how many out there think you know the answer to this one? Oh, got some scientists out there. All right, we've got a few seconds left. Time to lock in your answers. Everybody locked in? All right. First, we're going to hear from Mr. Mark Drury. Mark, what do you think? If all else stays the same, how does decreasing the mass of an object affect the force needed to move it? What do you think?
I would say A.
A, as the mass of an object decreases, the force needed to move it also decreases. I guess it would make sense on some levels. What do you think your students would
Who
say
wants to
here, Brian?
explain? How many of you guys came up with A?
I thought this was so much harder than that. I thought this was a hard. How many thought that was a hard one? Everybody just nailed it. All right, well.
Well, why don't you explain for us, Johannes, why you thought it was A? And then anyone in your group can add on to what you have to say.
When it says the mass, I thought of a ping pong ball and a bowling ball because you'd have to push harder for the bowling ball because it's heavier, so it has more mass. But if it was lighter, like a ping pong ball, the mass is decreasing, and you wouldn't have to push as hard. So the force would.
So did you guys, when you discussed it, you came up with a real-world example that you could make a connection to. Did you want to add anything else onto it?
If something gets heavier, then it's more force to push it. If it's not as heavy, then it doesn't need as much force.
And did you want to add anything? No. You agree with, you guys obviously agreed, good. Anyone over here want to explain? I heard someone talking about Newton over here. Huh? No? Does anyone want to add on to it? No?
I just thought that since like Newton's law talks about how like acceleration is produced when like a force is applied to like an object, so like to mass, and like I know that like if you like push a wall like and like you kick a soccer ball, like it takes less force to kick a soccer ball than to like kick a wall. So I thought that.
So again, you made a real-world connection, your group, you guys were discussing. So the great thing I think I'm hearing as I'm walking around talking, they don't just sit here and just say, it's A. There's actually some debate going on right now, and they're coming up with examples of why the other answers are not correct. You guys want to add anything on? No? Okay. You knew it was A, obviously, right? Yeah.
That's great. The answer is A. As the mass of an object decreases, the force also decreases. And when Johannes explained that as a bowling ball and a ping pong, that's not how it made sense to me. And I have a text that just came in from Carissa saying, that was a $400 question? So, anyway, I guess they were harder before. All right, so let's move on. Here we go. This is also a $400 question. This is the fourth question. This is a category, and it's reading. And here's the question. What does the idiom, you have to know what an idiom is, what does the idiom to play second fiddle mean? Does it mean A, to be happy, cheerful, and healthy? Does it mean B, to be less important, to have a lower position? Does it mean C, to reduce the importance of one's boss? Which is that, which accurately means blank statement. We have 45 seconds. How many of you know the answer out there that you know the answer? Wow. You know, it's interesting. Idioms, either you know it or you don't know it. If you don't know it, you really have to kind of figure it out. How many of you have two fiddles that you can play? First fiddle and then second fiddle. Orchestras have many fiddles. Sort of a hint. All right, down to 13 seconds.
To play second fiddle.
Mark, this is when you're going to be able
So if you're
to
second,
use
which
your
one do you think
brain
makes a
power from the
connection
fifth
there?
graders. All right, it's over now. Let's see. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Drury. Mark first. What do you think? What does the idiom to play second fiddle mean?
Well, I think the fifth graders might have to help me on this one, but
You want to take a guess?
I'd like to think it's to reduce the importance of one's boss. You know, that would always be good. You know, the fact that you get to play second fiddle, and you're obviously more important than the boss. That would be good. There's no reason playing second fiddle you shouldn't be happy, cheerful, and healthy. I mean,
Correct.
That's also a good answer,
Correct.
I thought. But the one that I think it might be is B, to be less important or have a lower position.
All right, let's see. That's a
Mr.
good
Drury
rationale.
thinks it's
Let's
B,
see
let's
what the
see.
fifth graders said.
What did the fifth graders? So we have one that said A, one group said A, and the other group said B. So who'd like to explain why they thought it was A or B? What does your group say back here? Maureen.
We sort of thought that it's like being like the third wheel of a group, so
Okay.
you're not as important as everybody.
So what was there a word in there that lets you know that? Like, how did you know that?
Because it says to play second fiddle, it's obviously not the first fiddle.
Right.
So it says, so it's telling you that you're in a lower position than the other.
Exact. Okay. Anyone else? Is that what you were gonna say? Yeah.
The first fiddle is better than the second fiddle.
So yeah, first fiddle is better than the second fiddle. I think the first fiddles are over there. Yeah.
It's basically saying that, for example, if somebody was like not doing what they were supposed to be doing, is like, why do you have to be such a second fiddle? Like you have a lower position of what you're doing. It's not better than the first fiddle, of course.
So you've heard it used before.
Well, yeah, our group has.
Yeah. Good. Anyone else over here? Let's see. Ariane, what do you want to say?
Well, I like to think of it as a talent show, like two people doing the same kind of act. Like where the first one goes, he kind of like catches everyone in amazement, but when you hear it again, it's not that really.
Are they
amazing.
playing the fiddle or? It could be.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, so like the second one, like you've already heard it, so you kind of get like bored of it or.
Okay. So what did your group say it was?
B.
You said it was B as well. And what about this group up here?
It was A.
Okay. And why did you guys think it was A?
We thought it was A because we thought that a fiddle was happy and cheerful, so we just picked
It makes
A.
good music. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's interesting. So, Mark, I liked both of your explanations for A and B. They're both pretty well reasoned. Dave, you've just heard theirs, though. What do you think your answer will be?
Well, I really like the happy, cheerful, and healthy because I think that's a good outlook for anyone, regardless of what you're doing. That's very important to have all those three things. But I have to stick with B because I think that's what it really means.
All right. How many of you agree with that? How many think it's B? You're absolutely right. Congratulations. I can tell you're not used to playing second fiddle. So in an orchestra, there are many chairs. There's a first chair, and that's considered the best violinist, and a violin is also a fiddle. So congratulations. So you have now won $1,000 from the Montgomery County Public Schools Foundation. Now we're ready for our last two questions, which are the hardest. Thank you very much. These are the hardest questions. This question is worth $1,000 all by itself. It is a social studies question, and here we go. Which of the following did the Proclamation of 1763 prevent American colonists from doing? Which of the following did the Proclamation of 1763 prevent American colonists from doing? Was it buying tea, A,
You were paying attention.
owning
That's good.
slaves, B, C, moving west of the Appalachian Mountains? Carissa has texted again saying, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
And kind of like I think like you're thinking like the T, the
$1,000
later in the
writing on this question.
Good. Did you
Proclamation of
did you agree, Joe?
1763.
What do we come up with?
What was the Revolutionary War? When did that happen?
What's that? Cece, do you know?
We had 45 seconds. We're down to 38. I don't think everybody's locked in their answers yet.
Back here.
Mark, this is kind of a hard one, I thought.
Did you know?
Kind of a tough one.
I guess I'm saying it too loud.
But they had buildings back then.
They did have buildings.
They did have
back
buildings.
then.
Some of them are still standing.
Right. I mean, we came up with a wheel, and from there it was wonderful.
It was all downhill.
Uh-huh.
All right, so Mark, I hate to ask you this one because I think it's one of the hardest ones we've had, but which of the following did the Proclamation of 1763 do? What do you think, A, B, or C?
Well, you know, I majored in history, but I don't recall the Proclamation of 1763, but I did some just deductive reasoning, and because the Boston Tea Party was because of the tax on tea, I know that the colonists were not prohibited from buying tea, they were just taxed on tea.
Good thinking.
Owning slaves, you're 100 years too early for the Emancipation Proclamation, which was 1863. So by deduction, I have to say it's C, moving west of the Appalachian Mountains, because it's prior to the Louisiana Purchase.
There we go. But you just eliminated them, didn't you? You just knocked it down to the Appalachian Triangle.
Then that's my best guess.
I think that's very good. It's the beauty of multiple choice. But Brian, what do you think the students will say? Because
Well, I heard a lot of good debate going on as well. We were talking about the Boston Tea Party over here. I heard us talking about slavery over here, and we were making connections between the years. And someone had just said, I just learned about this the other day. So there was really no debate in one of the groups. They already knew what the answer was automatically. So let's see what my students had to say.
Whoa, whoa. Let's give them a hand. Do you want to hear why?
Yeah, Tom, why don't you explain to us why? How did you know it was C?
Well, I was in class one day, and
That's a good thing.
we were talking about this, and yeah.
So it's something you explored in social studies, and did you maybe learn about it in one of your reading groups as well?
Yeah.
And you guys had discussions about it, and then what did you learn about after 7th? What are you guys learning about now in social studies?
I don't remember.
Okay. It is, you are like a 5th grade, so it's senioritis time, right? A little bit, yeah. Shiloh, what about you?
Well, I remembered that buying tea had to do with the Boston Tea Party, and owning slave was later on.
Okay.
So I just went with C because.
So Mr. Drury must have been reading your mind as he was getting ready to give his answer. Is there anyone over here that wanted to share? Emma, did you want to share?
We pretty much did the same process of elimination, as we know that, Boston Tea Party, so that didn't prevent them from buying tea, and owning slaves was later on, so.
It's amazing how we have 5th grade students coming from all these different schools. They're coming together. It's obvious that they're learning these ability to collaborate within their own schools, and they're bringing it to this setting right now and able to show it off right now. Every one of these groups was able to sit here and discuss and debate and use different strategies to come up with that answer. So I think every group did, and obviously I think every group had it as well with C.
All right, so do you feel like changing your answer? You said C. You're going to stick with C.
I think I'll stick with C because I think these kids are really smart.
For $400, the answer is C. The answer is C.
I think that was $1,000, wasn't it?
Excuse me, $1,000. Thank you very much.
Don't short us here.
I almost had to say, almost saved you $600, Foundation. No. All right, so we've got that. So I would just, I'd like to hear from the students too. You've heard Mark really give 2 good explanations for the last 2 questions. What did you think about his reasoning on the Appalachian Mountains? Anybody want to comment on that?
Brenda, what did you think? Were you impressed?
Yeah.
You were pretty impressed, yeah, I could tell. Yeah. Anyone else?
Process of elimination, good thinking.
Well, the French still had the Louisiana Purchase. Thomas Jefferson hadn't paid for it yet, but so the Appalachian Mountains were in the Appalachian Mountains, so they weren't able to move to the.
Your thinking was right in line with Mr. Drury's, and you were also thinking, Mr. Drury, here's my name and number. I'm going to grow up. You're going to hire me to be one of those $1 million construction workers.
There you go.
Right?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, we are down to our very last question, the 6th and final question. This is a double your money question. So, we can't rely on the students for this one. Students, we want you to answer this, but you're sort of on your own here. You're doing pretty well. Let's see if you can double the money on this question.
Can I phone a friend?
So, yeah. These are all your
that's a
friends.
different game, right?
Yeah, that's right. They've turned their cell phones off, however. Okay, so here's the question. It is an art question. True or false? And take a look at this. You're going to need to take a look at this, this mobile. Alexander Calder uses symmetrical balance to achieve balance in his mobile entitled Lobster Trap and Fishtail. So you see these dangling around sometimes. You see them from people's lamps or ceilings. What does he use to achieve balance? Does he use symmetrical balance? This is true or false? Yes or no? True or false? Alexander Calder used symmetrical balance to achieve balance in his mobile entitled Lobster Trap and Fishtail. If you hang this thing up, it actually balances. So did he use symmetrical balance to make that mobile sculpture work? Mobile. You ever seen Calder's work?
Exactly. Well, and that's what the question's asking, right? Is it symmetrical? So it's not symmetrical.
True or false?
He balances, but it's not symmetrical.
All right, we have 15 seconds.
What do you guys think? False. False. Did you hear false?
It's going to be fun to hear the thinking on this one. Remember, this is for double the money. Double the money. This is actually a $2,000 question. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think it's something we want to hear from the students on, but they can't help you this time. You've got to pick this answer yourself. This is a $2,000 question. It'll double the money you've made so far for a school in Montgomery County. What do you think? True or false, does Calder use symmetrical balance to achieve balance in that piece of art? What do you think?
Well, I think Alexander Calder does a beautiful job creating this mobile. It's what they say in Alabama. But symmetry would be two mirror images. And what he's got here, he's got a very diverse group of forms and shapes and different lengths where he puts the fulcrum for the balance. So they're not symmetrical, but they are balanced. So I say it's false.
Interesting. All right, so before we see the right answer here, students, I'd like to hear what you have to say about this.
How many of you said it was true? Okay, looking good, looking good. How many of you said it was false then? All right.
Why though? Why?
Wow. Who wants to explain? Carter, you want to explain why it was false? What did your group discuss?
We said that it couldn't be true because if you look right down the middle of it, it's obvious that you have what looks like a beehive to the right, and you don't have that to the left, so it's automatically not symmetrical.
So it's not symmetrical. And who can tell me what symmetrical is?
It's when, like, if you make an imaginary line down the middle, they're exactly the same on both sides.
So over that line, they would mirror each other and be the exact same. Did this group here want to explain why they thought? You guys were having a great debate here.
Well, it's not symmetrical balance because, like he said, the shapes are different and it's an uneven, not a symmetrical line. It's not a mirror image.
One of the things that's great about these fifth graders as well is they're able to add on and build off of what each other say and also add and confirm. What about this group over here? Brenda?
Symmetry is like when you have the same on both sides, and with the trap that he has there, they're not the same, and they're not like the same picture.
So
on each side.
When you're learning about symmetry, where did you learn about symmetry? What subject was it? What subject?
Math.
Just math?
Well,
math and art, and so that's another thing that our curriculum also highlights is we learn about these things across the curriculum, which adds to a stronger foundation of learning for our students. So you should be feeling pretty good over here, Mr. Drury, about your answer.
I'm feeling very good about my answer.
And let's see what the answer is. The answer, in fact, is false. Yes. This is asymmetrical balance. Congratulations. That is $200,000. Bonus question, Mr. Drury. Do you think it was better pronunciation to call it a mobile or a mobile?
Depends on what state you're in.
That's a very polite answer. Okay, thank you very much. How many think it should be mobile? I think it should be mobile. All right, mobile has it in the crowd. All right, so no matter what that is, the total that you have earned for Montgomery County Public Schools from the foundation is $4,000. Congratulations very much. Thanks a lot for coming.
Thank you.
Anything else you'd like to say? You had the experience. Oh, you got kind of a symmetrical tie there, huh? It's asymmetrical.
It is asymmetrical, and it's all learning tools. It's one of my Save the Children ties. So it's got protractors and rulers and all sorts of good things. Whiteout, you guys don't know anything about that. They don't use that anymore. There's a slide rule on here, yeah, and there's a rotary dial telephone. No, you don't know.
Oh, thank you. That's very important.
But the 5th grade students in Montgomery County are definitely up to the challenge, and we welcome them to come into the construction industry and be successful because, like I said, we need teamwork. It's the greatest team sport, most millionaires, and the most fun. And a recent survey just said that of 12 industries, the highest for employee satisfaction and engagement was the construction industry, which, strangely enough, the graduating senior survey of 250 career choices, number 248 is construction, right above undertaker and trash collector.
So there are going to be slots available.
We have slots available.
Thank you. How many think it'd be a good trade to go into? What do you think? Construction?
I heard him say billions, boys and girls.
Billions.
I heard him say billions.
Let's give Mark Drury a hand for coming, matching his wits, and rhythm. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Great job, great job. All right. Have earned tonight for the foundation a total of $12,000. Give yourselves a hand. All right, and let me just add my thanks. This is, we're ready to close? Okay, just add my thanks to everybody that attended. You have a lot to do tonight. It was raining when you left the house. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for making this a very important event. We want to also thank the band over there, the Silver Spring International Middle School Jaguar Jazz Ensemble. They're going to play us out in just a minute. These students did not materialize. They were chosen by their schools. It's yet another thing for school principals to do. If we have school principals here, could you stand and be recognized? Thank you very much for the work you do from MCPS. Thank you very much. We also want to thank Mike Tenney from the Department of Instructional Technology, who created the flip charts, everything you saw, and who's been running the Promethean board all evening. Where are you? Are you in the back over there? Just shout out. Here you go. Hey, Mike. Thank you. Also, thank you to Leslie Grimmel, a curriculum specialist from the Elementary Integrated Curriculum team, who provided the questions and the answers for our game. Denise Stoltz and her staff from Community Engagement and Partnership, who worked with our students this evening. And the crew from MCPS-TV, who made this show possible. Let's also thank these great corporate partners that contributed to MCPS Educational Foundation: Discovery Education, Education Systems, Federal Credit Union, Comcast, Glenstone, Kaiser Permanente, the International Baccalaureate, Strathmore, United Therapeutics, Choice Hotel, and the Montgomery County Business Roundtable for Education. And finally, let's give them all a hand. That's where that $12,000 comes from. And finally, thanks to the staff here at the AFI Silver Theater in Silver Spring. On behalf of the MCPS Educational Foundation, thank you very much.